This program was developed by the Chicago Board of Trade. Neither the Commodity Futures Trading Commission nor any registered futures association has reviewed or approved the specific content of this training program, nor have they recommended the provider. However, Chicago Board of Trade rules and regulations referred to in this program have been reviewed and approved by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. The CFTC requires that individual viewers submit written documentation on the video course. Please have your answer sheet and pen ready. At various times during the film, you will be asked to write a key phrase on your answer sheet.
Hello, I'm Alice Koza of the Chicago Board of Trade's Market and Product Development staff. I'd like to take a few minutes to address the ethics training requirement and make some introductory remarks regarding the program that you'll be viewing. According to the 1992 amendments to the Commodity Exchange Act, all NFA registrants, including floor brokers, floor traders, and associated persons, must take part in continuing ethics training programs in order to maintain their registration status. The ongoing requirement is a 1-hour program every 3 years. This video course was produced by the Chicago Board of Trade for CBOT or MidAm members who need to fulfill their 1-hour ethics requirement. The program is divided into 4 parts. During the first part, Brian Durkin, Vice President and Administrator of the Office of Investigations and Audits, will review the functions of OIA and address the concept of self-regulation. In the second part, Jennifer Baum, a Senior Manager with the Investigations Department, will review some exchange notices with you and bring you up to date on several of the exchange's recent rule or regulation interpretations. Please have the packet of exchange notices that came with the video on hand so you can refer to the notices as she reviews them. Jennifer will also present you with some scenarios based on the notices and ask you to decide the correct way to handle these situations. In the third part, we'll join Mark Kadish in a classroom setting and review a hypothetical situation related to trading. Mark is a criminal defense attorney and a clinical law professor at the IIT Kent College of Law. He has extensive experience in teaching ethics courses to commodities traders in the Chicago area. In the final part of the program, we will cover the very timely subject of sexual harassment. Mark Kadish will give you some background information and legal insight regarding this topic, and he'll discuss the implications of an allegation of sexual harassment. The program will end with a formal presentation on the exchange rules and regulations governing sexual harassment. Along with this tape, you received detailed instructions on the completion of this video course. During the film, you will be told to write down certain key phrases. Please take the time to fill in your key phrase answer sheet correctly and return the required documentation to us in a timely manner. We will then formally notify the National Futures Association that you have fulfilled your requirement. And finally, if you have any questions regarding this requirement or the program that you'll be viewing, please don't hesitate to call us. Contact names and numbers are listed on your instruction sheet. Thank you.
As all of you know, our industry is largely self-regulated, and while our office certainly has a significant role to play in that regard, the first and arguably the most important part of self-regulatory structure is represented by each of you. Market integrity is the underpinning of our customers' confidence in the exchange, and protecting the integrity of our markets begins with each of you having the strength and conviction to conduct yourselves ethically and to stand up for what you know is right by the users of our markets. Now, to do that effectively, obviously, it's important that you understand the rules and regulations, and our office is committed to providing you with the regulatory support and resources necessary to develop that understanding. There is no question that there's an enormous number of regulations in this business. Yet despite the volume of rules and regulations and interpretations that are out there, we manage occasionally to find ourselves in situations where it appears to us that the rules are unclear. My staff and I spend a significant number of hours each week dealing with these issues with the membership. And most of the unique situations that you encounter in the course of your trading activity, we've dealt with before. We strongly encourage you to contact us if you are at all uncertain as to the appropriate way to handle a particular situation. If you wish to speak to a member of our supervisory staff, at any time you may do so by dialing 922-HELP. Additionally, a member of our management team is on the floor prior to the open and following the close of each day to answer any questions you might have. Another important component of self-regulation is the role of the pit committees at our exchange. Members of our pit committees have dedicated many hours towards designing and enforcing pit etiquette standards in their respective pits. Through this program, pit committees have a greater influence on the way that business is conducted at our exchange and can assist our office proactively in identifying barriers to self-regulation. It's important to understand that the regulatory structure at the exchange is always evolving, and it is imperative that when any new regulations or rules come out, that you take the time to study the notices to make sure that you are familiar with the change in policy. Now, Jennifer Baum, Senior Manager in the Investigations Department, will bring you up to date on some of the regulatory issues that have been addressed by the exchange. But before I conclude, I would just like to remind you once again to ensure that the manner in which you conduct your business is above reproach. Listen to your ethical instincts, protect your personal integrity, and preserve the integrity of our markets. I thank you for the opportunity to speak with you about the self-regulatory role of this exchange, and I hope you find this video helpful in reinforcing that understanding. Thank you.
As part of your ethics video, you received a packet of exchange notices that cover a variety of rules and regulations of the exchange. This packet is updated regularly. However, it does not include all notices that have been issued by the exchange. Keep in mind that it is your obligation to ensure that you are informed as to the current rules and regulations of the exchange and their interpretations. Now let's review some of the notices that are included in your packet and clarify answers to some of the more frequently asked questions regarding these notices. Section 1 of the notice packet includes a notice regarding Regulation 331.01, Price of Execution Binding. This notice states that the price of execution of a trade is binding and may not be changed in the event that an erroneous confirmation is given to the customer. Additionally, this notice states that although members are prohibited from guaranteeing the price of execution to any customer, in the event that an error or mishandling occurs, it is permissible for a member to make a cash adjustment to the customer for any resultant loss. Remember that cash adjustments cannot act as a guarantee of a price that was not obtainable through open outcry at the time the order was in the pit. Later in this video, we'll spend some time discussing what happens in the event of a confirmation error. Now, we've touched on regulations that govern guaranteeing the terms of execution of an order. Let's take a look at a few specific scenarios and determine whether or not the customer is being guaranteed a price in violation of Regulation 336.01. A broker is in possession of an order to buy 50 corn at 18. He neglects to bid 18 when the market approaches that level, and then significant trades occur at 17 3/4. The broker then bids 18, but fails to fill the order. The broker guarantees a fill at 18 to his customer and continues to work the bid. Did the broker violate regulations of the exchange? The answer is no. The broker is acting within the regulations of the exchange. He acted properly after mishandling the order. The customer deserved a fill of 18, and if the broker has to pay a higher price, he should write a check to make the customer good at 18. Bonds are 9 bid for 100. A firm enters an order to sell 50 bonds at the market. Before the order is executed, the broker confirms a fill at a price of 9. The broker subsequently executes the order at 8 and adjusts the customer to 9. Did the broker violate regulations of the exchange? The answer is yes. The confirmation was made prior to the execution, and the price to which the order was adjusted was not determined through open outcry. A phone clerk gives a market to a customer of 910 in bonds. The customer instructs the clerk to sell 100 bonds at the market. The order is entered and executed promptly and competently at 6 due to fast downward market conditions.